Good evening, folks. This is Diamond from the Oppenheimer Ranch Project on Sunday, November 19th, 10:21 p.m. Mountain Time, bringing you a grand solar minimum update. This is the albedo update that we'll be doing regularly. And you're seeing a run through of November albedo from the 1st to the 19th, present. Notice the rapid ice growth up here in the bays in the last 4 days. This is approaching record levels since 1981. We're going to be watching this. What I want you to notice is for the last 19 days, the albedo effect above 45 degrees north latitude has been doing nothing but increasing. There's been no melting up here. It's been getting whiter and whiter, which is going to make the Arctic ice record levels this year. And that results in a lot of snow, especially with the cosmic ray flux increase. And let it snow. Parts of northeast Ohio get the first big snowfall of the season. Heads up, Ohio. I'm going to leave links to all this Winter Wonderland news. And if you check the timestamp down here, it is November 19th. 4.5 weeks from the first day of winter. Lake effect snow warnings issued for central New York. Syracuse, New York, a pair of lake effect snow warnings have been issued for much of central New York. One warning, which runs from 7 p.m. tonight until 1 p.m. Monday, includes Onondaga, Madison, Oneida. This alert warns snowfalls around 4 to 7 inches with localized amounts up to 9 across 3 counties. Now, wind gusts of 30 are possible. This is going to be a record lake effect snow year, which is why lake effect snow records are in the headlines. Just Google it. Trust me. Computer alert. Commuter. Snowfall warnings in effect for BC. Traveling this weekend, check the forecast before hitting the roads. British Columbia. British Columbia is going to get slathered. So that albedo effect that we just showed you on the map is just going to continue. This blanket is getting whiter and whiter up here in British Columbia. You're talking 20 centimeters all over the place. Up to 30 in the north coast. Yellowhead, Pine Pass, hello, 20 centimeters. It's a winter wonderland up there. Guys, if you live in British Columbia, friends of mine have a channel, Rad Coast. They're trying to get up and running. They're into all kind of cool outdoor stuff. They need subscribers. I'm going to leave you a link. Please give these guys support. Rad Coast up in British Columbia for all you British Columbia fans. They jump off of cliffs and go on rope swings and skimboard and all kind of stuff. So heads up, give some support to Rad Coast. I'd really appreciate that. Let's talk a seismic update. Very strong M7 earthquake hits New Caledonia. Tsunami produced. Now, guys, we've been predicting a 7.0 or greater here in the New Zealand area. Hopefully, this is enough pressure release, and this is actually the quake that has released the pressure. But as far as grand solar minimums are concerned, you guys in New Zealand, if you just Google New Zealand seismic history and you check out the sunspot graph here, you're going to find that in the Maunder minimum, you guys suffered multiple 8.5s, and each grand solar minimum in prior years, all the way back for the last 2,000 years. There's multiple 8.5s in New Zealand during solar minimums because of cosmic ray flux. Heads up, New Zealand. So you're not out of the woods yet, because we have several solar cycles to go for you. And the seismic uptick, as well as the volcanic uptick, is only beginning. So there was a 7.0 with a minor tsunami reported. I'll leave you links to these articles. It was about 1 meter at the largest. This is from The Guardian. There were also 3 earthquakes in northern Italy. And if we come over here on the map, we could see this here showing up at 4.9 at a depth of 10 kilometers. It's a heads up because they're predicting a large earthquake here in the Alps, Italian Alps. We've already had large damaging earthquakes, and with the snowfall this year, and as we descend into the grand solar minimum, probably record snows. There's going to be huge avalanches because of seismic events like this. So later in the season, probably towards January or February, we'll be looking for deadly avalanches due to seismic events in this area because of the descent into the grand solar minimum. NOAA, IPCC, fudge, ignore data to hype climate alarm. Well, this is something we already know. Accumulating research shows. What happened here? Oh my gosh, do we have to pay? Accumulating research shows two of the most visible organizations pushing the claims humans are causing dangerous climate change are either ignoring key data that would tend to undermine such claims or adjusting data to support their cause for alarm, and U.S. and international action to restrict fossil fuel use. In the United States, a new report by retired NASA physicist Edward Long analyzes the temperature record of the National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration. We're talking NOAA here. The Global Historical Climatology Network. I'll leave you links to who these fraud charlatans are. The Global Historical Climatology Fraud Network. What is happening here? So, a temperature data set from 7,280 meteorological stations around the world. They examined both the unadjusted and adjusted average temperature data. Long notes a number of problems or instances of bias, and as a result of these problems, NOAA reports more warming than has actually been observed and a steeper warming trend that has been experienced. I'll leave you links to this. Boom! And we're going to give you some graphs about the Global Historical Climatology Fraud Network. It's kind of like the Home Shopping Network. Here's the GHCN, the Global Historical Climatology Fraud Network's temperatures at Darwin Airport. Now, I want you to take a look at this. The red data is the adjusted data. The blue data, which shows a 0.7 C per century cooling, is the raw data. Thank you, NOAA. I love it adjusted. Don't you guys love it adjusted? I love it adjusted. Excuse me while I adjust myself. Here's the U.S. temperature anomaly from 1900 to 2000. Smoothed. The smoothed lines are blue and red. Now, one of them is adjusted smoothed, red, global warming, and the other one is raw data, blue, global cooling. So here we have NASA cooling the past. In the black line is the 1981 NASA Hansen original global surface temperatures, which have been removed from the public sector. They have been vacuumed up, erased, and deleted. And now the current NASA version of past temperatures, which have been adjusted to suit their needs, are in red. Conspiracy theory, now conspiracy fact, as Congress holds hearings on weather manipulation. Geoengineer much? I'll leave you links to this article. Look at this guy. Guys, geoengineering has been going on since the 60s, and it is on an uptick. And these people that claim they're scientists that are connected to our governments are dangerous. The planet is cooling. This is coming from Satire TS. You're looking at the lowest solar output in history, modern history. This is coming from the mainstream. This is the newest paper out on climate modeling. Here's the prediction for solar cycle 25 and 26. We're currently right here. We have another 2 more years to descend just in this cycle. And the next one will be deeper. Deeper and lower solar output than we've ever experienced in modern history. And you are not being told this. But global warming will save you. Because here's the unadjusted data, and here's what NASA is telling you. And here's the GHC fraud N raw data at Darwin Airport and the adjusted data, which even adjusted shows it cooling from the 90s on. Oh, dear. The northern hemisphere is covered in snow. The data has been adjusted. I hope you're preparing. As NASA cools the past. And they plan on cooling the planet to save humanity with their geoengineering nonsense. Oh yeah, and here's a headline coming out from NBC. Science proves kids are bad for the earth. If you're not frightened, if you're not preparing, this is insane. Please subscribe to our channel and share this with like-minded people. Science proves kids are bad for the earth. Man, science should prove that scientists are bad for the planet. Be safe.